Hi, it's Anthony from CarPlayLife.com, and in this video I'll be looking at the CarlinKit Android 11 CarPlay AI Box Plus. Although it might look a little bit similar to CarlinKit's earlier TBox branded CarPlay AI Boxes, inside things are a little bit different. The Plus features an Android 11 operating system, 4GB of RAM, and 64GB of ROM. A fast 8-core Qualcomm 6125 or 665 CPU and an Adreno 610 GPU. There's also the usual 4G LTE SIM and SD card slots for local internet and added storage of up to 128 gig. In the box you get a paper instruction manual, there is the TBox Plus itself, a USB-A to USB-C power cable and a USB-C to C cable for modern CarPlay ports in the car. Looking over the TBox Plus, the casing is pretty much identical to the earlier TBox Mini that I've also reviewed on this channel. The only exception is its colour, where the Plus has a dark navy colour in its casing. Otherwise, everything is much the same here. You've got the USB-C port in the middle to power it, and a SIM and SD card slots on either side. In my test, I fired up the TBox Plus on my Pioneer 93 DAB receiver. Boot up time took around 39 to 42 seconds before resting on its somewhat improved main menu interface. This long time includes a boot up sequence that can't be removed. The updated software features two selectable layout styles. There is the original icon page style, and there is a newer, more modern panel design. But compared to the interfaces from the likes of Autocast and MMB, this one lacks some refinement. We have the usual left side dock which shows the time, Wi-Fi and Bluetooth status, the last 4 used apps and a home navigation button. By default, the UI still has a floating menu button, but this can now be removed from inside the adapter's main settings page. The remaining home screen consists of one large app panel which can be altered to display apps like Maps or things like media apps like YouTube. There is a now playing media control panel to the side of it, and below this is also a panel consisting of 4 app shortcuts, which can be customized to launch any app that can be installed on the adapter. You can't swipe to access other apps you have installed on the adapter. Instead, you have to press the home button on the side dock or use an assigned button on the widget panel instead. Once selected, you're shown multiple screens of the pre-installed apps on the adapter, from the usual Google suite of apps to YouTube, Spotify, Netflix, Waze, and VLC. Any other apps that you like to have on the adapter require you to get the TBox online and download apps either from the Google Play Store or sideload the app from sites like APK Mirror, as I've done here with the Hulu app. Overall, I found the Plus is an improvement over its older UI, but there were still some areas that were less intuitive and could have been more improved, especially when its competitors have leapt ahead with their own AI box interface menus. It's nice to be able to hide the floating button, but without a dedicated back button on the side dock, you can get stuck in some apps. So instead, you're kind of forced to go back to the home page at times. Getting the adapter online requires either pairing it to a personal hotspot on your phone, connecting to a local Wi-Fi network that's in your car, or inserting a data SIM into the provided slot on the adapter. This last option is the only way you can simultaneously operate both internet-based Android apps and wireless CarPlay or Android Auto. Otherwise, you'll have to toggle the Wi-Fi and hotspot connections every time that you switch. Once the TBox Plus was online, I downloaded the Device Info app to dig a little bit deeper into the adapter's specs. It runs a much faster chipset over the TBox Mini, using the now commonly used Qualcomm 6125 or 665 chipset at 2 GHz, and it has the same Adreno 610 GPU, which runs at 320 MHz. In all, this brings the TBox level pegging with some other fast AI boxes that are out there, such as the adapter from MIC and the Autocast Picasso 2 and the Picasso 2 Pro AI box. Diving into the Geekbench app, its results matched these previously mentioned dongles, ranking joint second place in the single core test, third place in the multi-core test, and third place in the GPU test. But the differences in scores really is very minor, so performance-wise, there's very little difference between them. Unlike the two competing adapters, the TBox Plus does support dual Bluetooth, so you can connect up wireless remotes like this and Bluetooth game controllers like this for navigating apps, browsing menus, and controller-based gaming. Unlike the Picasso 2 and the MIC adapters, the TBox Plus doesn't have an HDMI output port, so this adapter will not be able to be used with an external monitor, TV or projector. Thanks to its faster processor, the TBox Plus is much more capable than the Mini for playing some Android games on your CarPlay display. My test apps Crossy Road, Subway Surfer and Real Racing 3 all ran okay, but due to the adapter's 30 frames per second limit, games ran noticeably less smoother than other Adreno 610 AI boxes. But this is less noticeable if you play less intensive games. The TBox Plus will handle them just fine and plays well if you pair them up with a Bluetooth controller. You just have under 50 gigabytes of storage for game and app downloads, or you can use this space to store local movie or music files. And if you ever run out of space, you can simply expand on this storage by inserting an SD card up to 128 gigabytes. However, after inserting the SD card, I had a little trouble removing it from the slot. If you like to stream or watch your video content on your CarPlay display, you have the choice of either the pre-installed apps such as YouTube, Netflix and VLC for local based video files. Both YouTube and Netflix ran fine with audio in sync, and there were not too much noticeable lag or performance issues during video playback, given its 30 FPS display restriction. Its YouTube app runs in full screen tablet mode, which isn't as nice as the same app running on some other AI boxes. The TBox Plus also has the same issue where it can't update to the latest version of Netflix, so you have to either stick with it or look into sideloading any updates to access any new app features instead. Wireless CarPlay in Android Auto uses its pre-installed AutoKit Android app. Just like the multiplay app on other AI boxes, AutoKit has some limited options in its settings menu. The TBox Plus carries similar Wi-Fi specs as the Play AI Box Plus, with quite a low channel width, and it shares one of the lowest max data rates in my test. Wireless Apple CarPlay took 14 seconds to pair, and a little bit longer at 18 seconds for Android Auto to connect. From here, both car platforms reflected the TBox Plus's low Wi-Fi specs, showing a slight 1 to 2 second increase in music and calling audio delay, and this is also reflected in its response to button presses and media playback in CarPlay 2. It doesn't pass through the same high resolution display feed as the Picasso 2 for higher resolution displays, and also encountered the same intermittent skipping in Spotify playback at times. On Android Auto, it continues to use the same full screen mode on this AI box, and the response was also a little bit laggy than some of the faster Wi-Fi spec'd AI boxes that are out there. This TBox Plus CarPlay AI box from CarlinKit currently retails for $220.14 from Amazon US, £220 with voucher from Amazon UK, and €250 with a coupon from Amazon DE. And you can check out my links in the description below to learn more about this AI box and buy one. The TBox Plus is priced quite competitively against similar spec'd AI boxes, so factoring in its availability, performance and price, this TBox Plus stands out quite well. Its user experience is better over the TBox Mini, but I personally feel there is still room for improvement when you compare it to the extra visual quality of its competition. Currently retailing just under $80 extra than the much lower spec'd TBox Mini. If you're on a budget and you can stretch that little bit extra and you're looking specifically for speed, this TBox Plus might be the best bang for your buck right now. It also has the added advantage of dual Bluetooth support, so if using a controller is important to you, this adapter might be the one for you. But before you reach for that buy button, you must factor in its wireless performance, specifically with CarPlay and Android Auto. When there are AI boxes that do this much better, and its 30 frames per second limit does hinder its performance during some fast-paced video playback and gaming. So if these don't really affect what you want out of this AI box, then the TBox Plus is the best AI box for anyone on a budget who's looking for speed and some extra longevity from the latest 665 chipset AI boxes. If you'd like to watch another AI box review of mine, you can check out this video here, and I'll see you there. Give us a thumbs up if you found some value in this video. Comments are always welcome if you have any questions about this TBox Plus from CarlinKit. Thanks for watching, and I'll look forward to seeing you on the next one. Cheers. Bye.